The heatwave can force prices downward. Then we also take a look at price movements and forecasts for other key commodities in the fruit and vegetable markets of South Africa as we head closer to the festive season. All in this week's episode, which is brought to you by Zimmatic Irrigation Systems, so make sure to stay tuned. The rand faced significant resistance against the dollar over the past week and is currently trading on 18 rand 8 cents per US dollar, with the dollar being much stronger. This, of course, had a major effect, particularly on our grain prices and export-orientated prices. The latest Brent crude oil price dropped over the past week and is now sitting on $72.89 per barrel. The Russia-Ukraine conflict has escalated, pushing prices up briefly, but the outlook remains that there will be an oil oversupply of about 1 million barrels per day in 2025, which is keeping pressure on the oil market at the moment. This surplus may materialize even if OPEC cuts production, indicating that global economic growth will remain subdued next year as well. Today, I'm thrilled to bring you an exclusive offer from Zimmatic. For a limited time, you can access significant discounts on their pivots, built tough for today's needs and adaptable for tomorrow's challenges. Zimmatic pivots are designed for efficiency, water conservation, and optimized yield management. Don't miss this chance to invest in a system that's built to grow with you. Just send me a WhatsApp on 073-1402-698 with the keyword pivot to secure your discount today and take the next step towards sustainable, efficient farming. Grow with Zimmatic. But with that said, let's take a look at what happened in the vegetable markets over the past week. As expected, the average national potato price increased and traded 13% higher on 71.72 per 10 kg and was about 6% lower than a year ago, while total volumes were about 9% lower year on year. Last week, large potato prices traded higher on 86, mediums traded on 67 and smalls also higher on 50 rand per 10 kg. Mondials traded higher on 72 rand and Cifras on 78 rand. The lower demand expected this week can result in lower prices. The hope is, however, that lower volumes from Limpopo can give some relief to this market, which is burdened by lower demand now. Natal is almost in the market as well, but it's a much smaller one compared to Limpopo. So although new volumes can come into the market, the lower demand can still pull prices downward. We can, however, see better demand next week, but the lower quality or the quality coming out of Limpopo will now play a large role in whether potato prices can increase a bit next week or stay sideways, although we're expecting high demand. The average onion price stayed sideways and traded on 48.16 per 10 kg. Brown onions stayed on 47, red onions increased slightly to 73 and white onions also stayed on 50 rand per 10 kg. Large onions traded on 42, mediums on 54 and smalls higher on 40 rand per 10 kg. Low demand is also likely to keep the onion price on a lower level this week as well. Tomato prices decreased by 7% the past week to 10.72 per kilogram, with volumes about 2% higher. Large tomatoes traded on 12.92, mediums on 10.40 and smalls increasing to 10.95. I still think we can expect similar prices this week with two markets currently in play. Higher quality will reach a premium this week, but the overall quality is lower from all producers. There will most likely be more lower quality on the markets, which can pull prices down a bit. This quality is of course impacted by the higher temperatures and heat wave at the moment. The carrot price decreased last week to 4.55 per kilogram, with volumes about 5% higher over the past week. This price is now about 7% lower than a year ago, while volumes traded 15% higher year on year. Large carrots traded on 4.75, mediums on 3.91 and smalls on 3.48 per kilogram. We're also expecting that the low demand can put additional pressure on this price over this coming week, but the real issue is quality and shelf life at the moment. The heatwave is impacting the quality delivered to the markets and pushing prices down since buyers only buy the necessary volumes and nothing more at the moment. So expect this price to drop this week again. We can maybe see slightly higher prices next week and the prices to pick up in December again. The average pepper price increased sharply to R15.85 per kilogram and is now about 4% higher than a year ago, with volumes 5% lower year on year. Yellow pepper prices increased by 15% to R14.01, while the green pepper price increased by more than 35% to R16.34 per kilogram. We actually saw prices starting to increase slightly earlier than anticipated, with the average price that is likely to increase in December and peak just before Christmas this year as well. The average cabbage price increased to R3.60 last week and can stay sideways until the middle of December and then start to decrease into the new year. Garlic prices also fell back and traded on R43.99 per kilogram, while the average spinach price increased to R2.87. Spinach prices are likely to trade slightly higher over the next month, or at least over the next 3 to 4 weeks, but higher volumes will likely keep prices below the R4 per kilogram mark. Sweet potato prices decreased by 11% to R8.37, pumpkin prices increased to R2.42, butternuts decreased to R3.96, green beans increased to R14.03, while the latest cucumber price increased to R11.28 per kilogram. If you would like to see more detail on these specific markets and forecasts, please download our latest reports on amtrends.co.za, which is available for free. Let's take a quick look at what happened in the fruit markets over the past week. The average banana price stayed on a higher level as expected and traded on R14.27 per kilogram or R257 per 18 kilogram box and is now 11% higher than a year ago. We still expect prices to remain on a relatively higher level until the end of this year due to supply that can remain under pressure as well. All the out-of-season fruits also jumped over the past week, with apple prices increasing to R13.39, the pear price rose to R14.56, the latest orange price increased to R14.30, while the avocado price jumped by another 11% to R35.67 per kilogram and is now about 54% higher than what we saw a year ago. Heatwaves increased to R47, Haas at R34 and Pinkertons also higher on R41 per kilogram. Expect this price to peak in February next year. Table grape prices dropped by 2% to R86.97 per kilogram, with the local season that will come into play very soon and prices that can drop significantly in December. However, there was some reports of a heatwave and heat damage to these crops, which can delay the start of this season slightly, keeping prices higher for slightly longer. Pineapples traded higher on R11.40 and lemons increased to R7.56. Meanwhile, the latest blueberry price increased by 5% to R59 per kilogram. Before we wrap up, I'd like to remind you that there's still space available for a sponsorship on our upcoming videos. If you're interested in reaching our audience and showcasing your brand, make sure to get in touch now. This video is made possible by Zimmatic Irrigation Systems and is now offering exclusive discounts on all pivots. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe and thank you for watching.